From the Kohl Center in Madison, it's a battle for first place in the Big Ten as the Indiana Hoosiers, 8-5 and 2-0 in the conference, face off against the 12th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers, 11-1 and also 2-0 in the conference. Welcome to Courtside, everybody. I'm Ken Syke, along with former Badger assistant coach Don Krim. We've got a good one for you tonight. Both teams are in first place, two of the three teams there, and it has all the makings of a top Big Ten game.
You're right. First place for both teams, 2-0. Wisconsin beating Purdue here at home for the first time for the senior class and winning at Iowa, while Indiana beating Michigan State and Ohio State early on.
Both teams are playing very strong defense, and both teams have strong senior leadership. So what are the keys tonight?
To make sure that Kyle Black, Jessie Stomski, and Tamara Moore get out to a fast start, really run, try and get some points on the board quickly, while Heather Cassidy and Jill Chapman, the seniors for Indiana, are going to try and stop them.
And we'll look at that third senior for Indiana as well. When you look at the numbers, these teams are very similar all the way down the line. The number is very, very comparable.
You're right. Indiana, defensive-minded, as is Wisconsin, but Wisconsin still liking the score, going up by 4 points over Indiana in the scoring category.
Lots of good post players to look at tonight. Indiana led by Jill Chapman, a 6'5" senior center. She's the leading scorer, the leading rebounder, and the leading blocker for the Hoosiers.
Jill Chapman, the softest hands of a post player in the Big Ten. She is playing some incredible basketball. Has started all games since she's been at Indiana.
Meanwhile, for the Badgers, Emily Ashball, the sophomore center, is coming on of late, evidenced by her double-double on Sunday and the win at Iowa.
When the season first began, people talked about Emily Ashball as complimenting the three seniors. Well, Emily Ashball had 17 points and 10 rebounds against Iowa, so she's stepping out of the compliment role.
Badgers have won 12 in a row at the Kohl Center. We'll see if the Hoosiers can stop it or be another victim as this game unfolds. Jessie Stomski is Wisconsin's senior power forward, leads the team in scoring and rebounding, preseason All-Big Ten Player of the Year. We talked with her earlier about how she sized up tonight's game.
Well, they're 2-0 in the Big Ten right now, and that's got to be respected. There's only 3 teams that are 2-0, and after tonight they'll probably be only 2 or maybe even 1, and hopefully that's us. But they're a great team. They have some inside players that are dominant. Jill Chapman is a great post player, and they also have some 4s that can shoot from the outside, so we're going to be looking to contain them. And they have a couple 3-point shooters that we have to be aware of as well.
11-1 start. Why is this season going so well? Obviously you're winning the games, but why are you winning?
Well, there's a combination of things. We have great team chemistry, which has been emphasized over and over again, but everyone's just so unselfish and, I guess really you don't think too hard about why you're winning. You think about why you're losing, but you don't think too hard about why you're winning. So right now we're just having fun and we're playing our game and we're not really analyzing it too much.
Anything that this team needs to work on as you see it?
Definitely. There's always things that you have to work on. I think that our turnovers night in, night out, they're a little inconsistent. One night will be great and have very few, but then the next night we'll come and we'll turn the ball over quite a bit, and that limits the amount of shots you can take. So we definitely want to cut down on that. Our shooting percentage isn't quite as high as we'd like it to be also. We're getting a lot of shots from things like offensive rebounds and whatnot, but again, we want to be putting the ball in the basket a little bit more.
Jessie Stomski also talked with us about her plans after this year. She has 2 more years of school, is a journalism major, wants to play professional basketball or perhaps get into journalism. So the Hoosiers and the Badgers for first place in the Big Ten. Early on, yes, but still 2 teams that are 2-0. One of them is going to be 3-0, and one's going to be 2-1 after tonight. Should be a dandy of a game as the starting lineups are being introduced here. The Hoosiers have owned this series history, although it's been a little bit better for Wisconsin of late. The Hoosiers in control, something like 31-10. IU even leads it here in Madison, 10-9, although Wisconsin has won the last 3 here at the Kohl Center. And the last meeting was in Bloomington, where Wisconsin lost in overtime, 83-79. But as you see it, the last 6 games, the home team has won it. Starting lineups for tonight. First of all, for the Indiana Hoosiers, At the forecourt, they'll have Erin McGinnis, Jenny DeMuth, their center Jill Chapman, who we talked about, Tara Jones, and Heather Cassidy, another fine senior player. The Badger starting lineup, the same as it's been the last few games. Christy Seeger and Jessie Stomski at forward, Emily Ashbaugh at the post, Tamara Moore and Kyle Black. Kathy Bennett, the second-year head coach for Indiana, and yes, she is the daughter of former Badger basketball coach Dick Bennett. Against Wisconsin, 1-1, 28-16 in her 1+ seasons in Bloomington. And of course, Jane Albright in her 8th year for Wisconsin, 146 wins, 75 losses. That's a 66% percentage. And she's 5-7 against the Hoosiers. The officials for tonight's game, the referee is Sally Bell, also Brian Enterline and John Whitson. So we are set to go. And one thing that we might talk about, although the similarities are pretty close, is that Wisconsin and Indiana might prefer a little bit of a different tempo. You might see that as unfold as it goes along. The Badgers would like to run more and score more. Indiana really wants to control with the defense.
Wisconsin really wanting to go inside early, right inside to Emily Ashbaugh, but Jill Chapman showing her defensive prowess right from the start. Gets a piece of the ball.
And a block. And on the tie-up, the alternating possession goes for Indiana. The Hoosiers 6-5 in the non-conference. But as we talked about, win over Michigan State. That was a big one on the road, 50-47. And then one week ago, 64-52 at home over Ohio State. 30 is Erin McGinnis in the lane. The shot is partially blocked, but Chapman is there for the loose change, and the Hoosiers score first.
And looking at Indiana's strategy, pulling Jessie Stomski off the block and onto the wing, and McGinnis was able to go to the basket.
Stomski guarded by McGinnis. Seeger guarded by DeMuth, the freshman. Stomski in the high post, gets the double team, shoots over, misses it, and Chapman rebounds.
And that's Chapman's second rebound. Wisconsin's going to need to focus on rebounding in this game as well.
Cassidy out for McGinnis. Back to Cassidy, senior out of Peoria, Illinois. As the Hoosiers reset, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Indiana thought that they had some good chances for this season with a strong returning senior class. Chapman misses that one. 4 starters returning from last year's team. Tamara Moore in the lane. Shot is too strong. Ashbaugh rebounds, and we're tied up at 2.
And Wisconsin not really recognizing that there was a zone that time. Tamara Moore goes right to the basket, and Emily Ashbaugh is in the right place at the right time again.
40 is Tara Jones, another senior for the Hoosiers. 14 is DeMuth. That shot is blocked by either Seeger or Ashbaugh, not sure who, and the Badgers on the run. Moore contended by Jones, and she'll reset.
Jones held it as the best defensive player for Indiana.
Ashbaugh left open from 18, doesn't take it, gives to Stomski. Stomski reach in, triple team, and they get it away from her. Good hustle by the freshman DeMuth, and that's what she's done all year. Part of the reason why Kathy Bennett has her starting. Black guarding Cassidy. Oh, nice move by Heather Cassidy.
Heather Cassidy determined that time to get to the basket. Kyle Black right there contesting the shot.
Ashbaugh again left alone out high. Indiana will contend everything defensively.
Indiana really playing a packed-in, man-to-man, sagging defense there. Jill Chapman will not come out on Emily Ashbaugh at the top.
Seeger looking for Stomski. Ashbaugh, now Stomski to Ashbaugh, inside to Chapman. Oh, nice left hand by Emily Ashbaugh.
Great high-low game that time by Jessie Stomski, going down low to Ashbaugh. Ashbaugh fighting hard for the position and the basket.
Badgers going for Ashbaugh, trying to get Chapman in foul trouble, would you think, Dawn?
Certainly. And trying to keep Emily Ashbaugh underneath, because Chapman is not coming out to contest any pass or shot that might be taken from the 15-foot mark from Emily Ashbaugh, and that's why Jessie Stomski came back up to the top of the key.
Can Ashbaugh knock down that 15-footer?
Well, she's made a few.
Needs to work on the long range. But as we said early on in the open, There she has it right there, coming on of late, and we just talked about it, and she makes it.
And there you go. She's made a few.
6-4 Badger lead. First time Wisconsin leads here early on. 16-20, Cassidy down the lane, blocked by Ashbaugh. Black on the run, ahead for Moore. She pulls up, that's a long 2, and she gets the roll.
Tamara Moore, realizing she had players trailing in the rebound spots, decides to spot up and take that 2-pointer for herself.
Badgers have scored 6 in a row. McGinnis, a long 3. That's short. Chapman, the quick rebound. Oh, nice shot from short range. There you talk about the soft hands.
And that long 3 rebound a little long, so Chapman, even though Emily Ashbaugh had the position, was able to go up and over and get the rebound. Jill Chapman's 3rd rebound so far.
She has 4 of the 6. Steal by DeMuth. Away from Moore. And she gets it down. Good hustle play by the freshman Jenny DeMuth. And we're tied up at 8. Badgers moved up 2 spots in the national rankings this week. Black for Stomski. Turnaround, that's blocked as Chapman came over for the double team.
And that's one thing about Emily Ashbaugh, stepping up to the 15-point mark at the free throw lane allows Jill Chapman to sag inside and double team Jessie Stomski.
And Ashbaugh steal away from Chapman. Seeger leading the transition. And the Badgers will set it up. We're due for a timeout here at the next whistle. Black trying to hit Stomski. Now pass is deflected, and it's loose, picked up by Chapman. Another turnover on the Badgers, their 4th already. McGinnis again. That one is good. Wow. Indiana 11-8.
Right now, Indiana playing to their strength, bringing McGinnis out, which forces Jessie Stomski to come away from the basket.
That is the first 3-point field goal for Indiana in 3 games. They were 0 for 21 in the previous 2 games and had a dry spell, but McGinnis ends it right there on a long 3. That one should have been 3.5. Kyle Black coming back, just a little too strong. Moore tried the rebound loose, but couldn't get it.
Emily Ashbaugh playing some excellent low post defense on Jill Chapman.
McGinnis, thought that one was going to go down. She had the feel from the last time. Players are sagging right now. We haven't had, I'm not sure we've even had a foul. As I say that, there's the first foul. And both teams are ready to take a break as we've gone 6+ minutes into the game. And we have our first media timeout. Badgers trailing by 3 to Kathy Bennett. You're watching Badger Ball. Well, this game, the lead game in the Big Ten tonight when you have 2 of the 3 first-place teams going at it. One of these teams will be in first place after tonight. But there's a few other games going on around the Big Ten, and there was some action last night. Illinois is at Minnesota. And Illinois is the other team that's 2-0 in the conference. So if they can win up at Minneapolis, they'll be 3-0. Purdue is at Northwestern, and Iowa is at Ohio State. Last night, Michigan defeated Michigan State, and Penn State won a non-conference game over St. Francis. When you look at the standings, again, 3 teams in first place in the Big Ten, and Wisconsin, the only team in the Big Ten with only 1 loss.
Jenny DeMuth has been a pleasant surprise for Indiana this year. Although a freshman has made an immediate impact, she's come in and done a fantastic job tonight, really forcing some of the action here. Stepping out in Tamara Moore's passing lane and gets the steal and scores. And then Indiana not making a 3 in any Big Ten game yet this season. McGinnis gets the 3 off and gets it going here tonight for them.
Back to live action. Badgers with it, but trailing by 3. Into Ashbaugh, a little bit behind her, and Chapman with another pickoff. Indiana can go to a 5 or more point lead here. Into the game, number 54 is Jamie Gathing, loses the ball. She's number 54. Third turnover on Indiana. Badgers have the same players in there. Seeger. Well, it's a sagging defense off of Ashbaugh, but they're contending everything else. The long shots are not open for the Badgers. Then they double up on Stomski, and she can't find Ashbaugh. Black, a big three for Wisconsin to tie it up.
And that was actually nice ball rotation on Wisconsin's part to get the ball down into Jessie Stomski. Double team, she sees it, sees Kyle Black spotted up for the open three-point shot.
Black hitting almost 1 out of every 2 shot from long range. Jones, cut off by Ashbaugh and blocked by the sophomore. Gathing, a nice jumper, puts it down. Jamie Gathing. 13-11, 12-15 in the half. Again, Ashbaugh left unguarded. Now for Tamara Moore, posting up, double teamed off Chapman, and a foul, probably on Jones.
And one thing to look to with this Indiana team, with Jill Chapman sagging off of Emily Ashbaugh, she's able to drop down and double team who's ever in the post. Earlier, Jessie Stomski, this time Tamara Moore.
Does that leave a player open underneath, or is the Indiana defense rotating over to cover the open player?
Indiana's defense has been rotating over. Kathy Bennett, known for her defensive play, likes to double team, switch things up, but she likes to have the guards stay on the wing and cut off passing lanes. It's the post that she likes to double with most times.
We saw number 34, Keisha Asabui, junior forward for Indiana, into the game. And for Wisconsin, number 1, Candace Smith comes in for Christy Seeger. As Moore makes both free throws to tie it back up, and then Wisconsin uses their 30-second timeout that they have to use or lose in the first half rather early at the 12:05 mark. You've worked with Jane Albright. What's her thinking in calling it now when we're so close to another media timeout?
Well, one thing that Jane Albright has done is she's put in that press pretty quickly this season. So we may see her wanting to get something quick and easy to go on top going into that break.
As you see, Wisconsin has had very little success historically against Indiana, only 25% in their games against the Hoosiers, and that's primarily at Bloomington. There's been only 1 win there.
And Wisconsin does come out in that break, that full court press.
And that forces Indiana to take a long time to get into their offense. And finally they set up, and they only have 15 seconds on the shot clock. Asabui guarded by Moore. Johnson putting on a little more defensive pressure. Gathing forces a shot. That's missed. Chapman and Ashbaugh tie up, and the arrow pointing Wisconsin's way.
And Emily Ashbaugh really tough on that rebound, going up with Jill Chapman there.
Pretty physical so far. We're tied up at 13. You're watching Badger ball. 11:39 to go, and a reminder for our viewers on Wisconsin Public Television, it's a battle in the Big Ten when the Fighting Illini storm the Kohl Center searching for baskets and Badgers. Men's basketball, the Badgers and the Illini. Saturday, January 5th, game coverage begins at 11 for sure on Wisconsin Public Television.
And Wisconsin 11-1 on the season, playing some incredible basketball, having an opportunity to really make a statement, being that they haven't had a 12-game season opening since the 82-83 season.
That was a memorable year for the Badgers. And Indiana has had their three-point struggles, as we talked about. And when McGinnis made that three, that stopped that streak of, I think it reached 0 for 22.
Emily Ashbaugh really ripping down a rebound, but here we also see her getting the defensive block. Cassidy thought she could make it to the basket, but Emily Ashbaugh was right there. Tamara Moore converting that right into 2 points. Jamie Gathering came in off the bench and hit quickly for Indiana, getting 2 points here early.
There you see 3-point field goals. Both of them have been by Kyle Black for Wisconsin. And Indiana 1 for 3. Ashbaugh is 3 for 3 from the field, has 6 points to lead the game early on in scoring. Stomski inside, guarded by Chapman. That's a switch. Jessie's shot is just short, and Chapman rebounds. Cassidy and Chapman pretty much will go the whole way for Indiana, and Moore, Stomski, and Black see a lot of time for Wisconsin. Steal by Tamara Moore. Ahead for Kyle Black. That's blocked by DeMuth. No foul. Great block by the freshman. Wow. And Jane Albright saying, hey, come on, wasn't there a foul there? The fouls have been very few.
Referees really letting the teams play, realizing that both teams, being 2-0, didn't get there by a chance.
Candace Smith, no block there, but she missed the shot. And then foul. That's the first foul on Wisconsin. So the Badgers have 2 breakaways and come up with no points. Wow.
And Candace Smith has been playing some very good basketball these first 2 Big Ten games here, feeling the frustration after missing that shot. Anticipated well, had a nice layup, took her time, and just shot it a little too hard.
Badgers in a zone here. McGinnis for Chapman, blocked by Moore. Wow. Tamara Moore giving up about 6 inches to Chapman and still comes away with the block. Operates in traffic, no shot, no foul. No basket, no foul.
And both teams playing an up-tempo pace. Indiana's going to slow it down a little here because this pace favors their offense. And yes, Wisconsin is in a zone again.
34 is Asabui. McGinnis, Chapman turns and shoots over Ashbaugh. Not there, gets a rebound, puts it up again and got the roll. Chapman has 6 of the 15 for the Hoosiers as they lead by 2. Now Stomski has it out high. Moore for Black. Black pulls out, gives to Stomski. She'll take that shot, but McGinnis doesn't let her. Now for Moore, Ashbaugh. No foul. Stomski, the other side, takes the jumper, and it's there. Jessie showing her range.
And Emily Ashbaugh sees that she didn't have a clean shot. Gets the cross-court skip pass and assist to Jessie Stomski.
15-15 at the 9:15 mark of the first half. This pace, I think, is exactly what Indiana wants. Kind of a grinding game, but that's probably what you expect from 2 teams playing pretty good defense. Whoa, Asabui has that shot blocked even before it left her hands. Stomski with the fake.
And the referees really letting both teams play physical. A lot of blocks going on in this game. A lot of touches, a lot of balls out of bounds, but it's just good, clean hustle.
For Wisconsin, as you see DeMuth getting a break. Eba Gabisa into the game. The freshman from Indiana, West Lafayette, Indiana. Stomski doubled. Pass stolen by Cassidy. Between 2 Badgers, able to finish, too strong, and more rebounds. Also into the game for Indiana is Jill Hartman, number 24. Stomski, good position down low. Got the shot off, just too strong. Well, Stomski is 1 for 4 from the field, and her only basket was from about 10 feet out. Chapman inside position, underneath the basket. That time she was fouled. And will go to the line. Very impressed by Jill Chapman. I've seen her a number of times before. I don't think I've seen her play as aggressively as she is tonight.
There's definitely a difference in Jill Chapman's game between years past and now. She's much more poised, waiting for the ball in the post, not using as much energy. And then when she catches it, she does use then the energy on the shot. But much more poised in the past and then going up much stronger.
A week ago in their Big Ten opener against Ohio State, Chapman had quite a line. 16 points, 14 rebounds, 4 blocks, and 2 steals. She misses her second free throw, but Indiana comes up with a rebound. Then they turn it over. Smith ahead for Black. She'll take the long 3. Yes! I thought it was
Kyle
a
Black.
2, but you got a 3. Sorry.
That's all right. Kyle Black doing exactly what she's been doing all year, being the steady three-point shooter for the Badgers. 2 for 3 so far tonight from three-point land.
Badgers up by those 3 points. Hartman guarded by Black. They try to hit Chapman. She's able to get it. No travel. Cassidy guarded by Smith. Hartman a long one. Wow, that was a nice shot.
Great handoff by Heather Cassidy to Hartman for that shot.
Doesn't look like a team that was 0 for 21 from long range until the last 2 games until tonight. Gabisa over Chapman, yes.
And Gabisa doing a nice job of using that spin dribble to create some space to get the shot up and over Jill Chapman.
Well, they're trying to get Chapman in foul trouble, but it hasn't worked. We got no fouls so far, and we've played 12 minutes. Candace Smith a reach in.
And that's Candace Smith's second foul. Failed to mention for Indiana, Tara Jones, I believe, has 2 fouls. Started out real aggressive, but she got those 2 fouls pretty quickly.
And we've got a timeout. The Badgers leading it by 2. You're watching Badger ball. Now Wisconsin having a great start. Season of first as the Badgers seniors' first win ever against Purdue. Their first win in Carver Hawkeye Arena. That was beating Iowa on Sunday since 1997. And the first time since 1992-93 that UW has defeated 2 top 10 opponents. That was Purdue a week ago, 71-59 here. And then they also defeated North Carolina State earlier this year, 65-48. That was also here. So the seniors and this senior class has been a big factor, trying to do some things that haven't been done before. And if they can keep this winning streak going, they have a home game tonight against Indiana, obviously, and then Sunday against Michigan, they could accomplish some other novel things for this program.
A lot of double teaming taking place on Indiana's part. Emily Ashball had the ball in the double team, got the ball out to Jessie Stomski for the outside shot. And then Kyle Black doing what she does best, finds that shot behind the 3. But talking about threes, Indiana able to break 3 and hit a 3 tonight here with McGinnis, and then later Jill Hartman there.
So the lid is off the basket for Indiana on the 3s, 2 for 4 from long range. Feed in for McGinnis, guarded by Gabisa, went right around the freshman, shot just missed, and Gabisa rebound. I agree with you, Don. They're really letting them play inside. We've seen other games where some of the contact is immediately whistled. Now that could change. We had a game here earlier this season when very few fouls called in the first half, and the officials made a clear change at halftime. Black is way off on that shot. Stephanie Rich, who's just into the game, fights for the rebound. And on the arrow, it points Indiana's way.
And good shot that time by Kyle Black. Able to lose her player on the screen, just a little off to the right on that shot.
Badgers lead it 20-18, 6:30 until halftime. Cassidy left open for the long one, put it down.
Certainly
Indiana
does
goes
not
ahead.
look like a team that was 0 for 21 from three-point land in the last 2 games.
Well, shooting has been the concern for Indiana. They've done well at times and not well at other times. It's kind of the thing that comes and goes for Kathy Bennett. Nice feed inside for Gabisa, double team. Gets it back out for Black, now for Moore. She'll take the long one and hit it.
And Tamara Moore showing her versatility here, able to go inside early. That time coming out and hitting her 3.
Both teams with 3 long ones. And Wisconsin leads it by 2.
Jill Chapman really working hard, wanting the basketball there.
Thought she got away with a travel there. Doesn't get the roll on the shot over Ashbaugh. And here come the Badgers. Boy, Indiana back. They had 4 players back just to prevent any transition basketball. It's something that Kathy Bennett just doesn't want to see. Oh, Chapman aggressively for the ball, no foul.
really letting them play here. One thing about this pace, though, really favors Wisconsin, as Jill Chapman, being the primary post player for Indiana, is getting pretty tired in there as she's not had a break yet.
Long one from Asabui, and Rich decides to let it go, and the Badgers will get it. And 3 reserves coming in for the Hoosiers. First time in, number 32 is Allison Scapin. Also back in is Jamie Gathing and Jenny DeMuth.
And talked about Jill Chapman not getting a break. Scapin comes into the game to give Jill Chapman that much-needed blow.
Has Ashbaugh been out so far? I don't think she has she? Nope. Jessie Stomski getting a breather. Our producer, Deb Piper, says yes, Ashbaugh's been out for a bit. So we'll see how the Badgers do with Ashbaugh. Definitely a height advantage here. Rich. Yes, Stephanie Rich. Badgers a 4-point lead, 25-21. Shauna Nichols getting ready to come in for Jane Albright. Cassidy, oh, just missed. Looked good from this angle. And Gabisa another rebound.
Both teams realizing needing to do quite a bit of subbing at this pace.
Well, we'll see how long Kathy Bennett keeps Jill Chapman out. Gabisa looking for help. Ashbaugh comes out to provide it. That pass not a good pass, plain and simple, as it was behind Kyle Black.
And actually, that's a credit to Indiana's defense there. Ebba Gabisa tied up, trying to get the ball out of her hand because of the possibility of a 5-second call. Gets it to Ashbaugh, who's still not that comfortable with the ball at the top of the key.
Shauna Nichols, number 40, into the game for Wisconsin. Giving Tamara Moore a break, so Moore and Stomski getting a breather right now. And the Badgers very young right now, 3 freshmen and a sophomore on the court. And one of the freshmen, Stephanie Rich, rebounds, gives ahead to Nichols, who will play the point. Kind of a chess match right now with Chapman out of the game. Jane Albright preferring to go with a small lineup as well, as she has 3 true guards in. Ashbaugh guarded by Scapin, and Emily has a decided height advantage there. Black gives her the ball, and she travels, coming back the other way.
This is a media timeout.
So they try to set it up for Ashbaugh, but she turns it over. And at the 3:22 mark, Wisconsin leads by 4. You're watching Badger Ball. Now, this Kohl Center is also the home for Badger hockey, and we invite you to join us on Wisconsin Public Television on January 11th and 12th for the next hockey series when the Badgers of Jeff Sauer host the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Oh, yeah, the big series of the year. We drop the puck each night at 10:30 right here on Wisconsin Public Television.
And Wisconsin doing an excellent job on defense. Jane Albright really wanting the key on defense this year, doing a nice job of keeping opponents down defensively.
Now the last 6 opponents of Wisconsin have shot under 40% from the floor. And as a matter of fact, Wisconsin is 11-0 this year. All their games they've won when they have shot better than their opponent. And the one time it didn't happen, they lost. And right now they're shooting 50% and Indiana shooting 33%. There you see it.
And that shooting percentage really favoring Wisconsin. And Tamara Moore lighting it up from the top of the key for 3. Then Stephanie Rich, usually known for a shooter, comes in and makes a nice turnaround jump shot. But at the other end, Indiana not letting things go by. Cassidy comes out and hits her 3, the 3rd 3 for Indiana tonight.
Jessie Stomski in the game at the last break.
And Wisconsin coming out in a zone.
And Indiana still keeping Jill Chapman out for a breather. We'll see if she comes back in here before the half. That shot missed, but Jamie Gathing will go to the line.
And that's Jessie Stomski's just her first foul tonight, and only the actually 4th foul for Wisconsin with 3 minutes to go here. Excellent defense by both teams. Jessie Stomski comes over and tries to get a piece of it, underestimating actually the jumping ability of Jamie Gathing. She was really up on that shot.
Gathing is a sophomore from Kankakee, Illinois, a redshirt last year due to a leg injury. So has played through that and seeing considerable minutes as a reserve. Misses the second free throw. So it's 25-22. Back and forth game here. Both teams have been in the lead, and Wisconsin's biggest lead has been only 4 points, and I think Indiana has only had a 4-point lead themselves somewhere in there. 3-point lead perhaps. So it's been a back and forth game. Shot clock down to 8. And the Badgers don't look like they really know what they're doing on this possession. Nichols out for Stomski, and that's stolen, and a second foul on Stomski as she tried to get the ball back from Gathing. And that'll bring Jessie to the bench and Emily Ashbaugh in for the final 2:33 of the half.
And when we look at matchups, having Jamie Gathering on Jessie Stomski and on Emily Ashbaugh actually is a tough defensive matchup because of her quickness. Wisconsin needed to look at putting that post player down low and using their size and strength against her.
Well, Indiana has not been hurt so far by Chapman getting a breather. Gathing deflected that block, and Ashbaugh a deflection to set up a steal. Tamara Moore back in the game. And she'll take the three. No. And Gabisa, the strong rebound. Yes. And a chance for a three-point play. Well, she got away to something I know you never coach. When you get that rebound, she brought it down low, but she got it back up quickly.
And with the height of Gabisa, she was able to follow the flight of Wisconsin's shot. Tamara's shot. She followed the flight of the ball and just went straight to the rim, uncontested.
Brought it down, and that's what drew the foul, but she was strong enough to finish off the play. And now the freshman can make it a three-point play. Missed it. Badgers rebound, and Stephanie Rich will go to the line.
And we talked about the referees letting the teams play early here. 2 quick whistles, but the favor for the Badgers if they can knock down this free throw. Stephanie Rich really having a nice presence inside tonight.
Rich talked about in a program recently how she comes in and shoots for at least a half an hour before every practice, especially her long shots, which are her specialty. Miss Iowa basketball last year misses the second free throw. And yeah, Kathy Bennett didn't want to go too long without Jill Chapman in there, and she's back in for the final 2 minutes. Again, it was more of a rest. Chapman, as a matter of fact, has no personal fouls. And Wisconsin, with 2 of the last 4 free throws, has their biggest lead of the game, 28-22. Cassidy right around Ashbaugh. That shot had to be changed, and then Gathing traveled on the offensive rebound.
Gathing and Jill Chapman both going aggressively for the rebound is what caused that travel.
So 1:40 to go, 28-22, Badger lead. DeMuth on Moore. Leah Hefty, number 22, is in the game for Wisconsin. Moore between traffic. Somehow found it through traffic, but yep, she moved a pivot foot and traveled.
Tamara Moore going over to show the referee which foot was the pivot foot. Tamara Moore does a lot of things with the spins, but it's kind of hard to step through between a double team there.
Hartman with the ball, guarded by Hefty. DeMuth feeds Chapman. Nice feed out for McGinnis. Fakes the shot. Oh, good feed over, at least a good idea over to Chapman, but it was deflected, I believe, by Ashbaugh. Emily Ashbaugh having a great first half, some of which won't show on the stat chart. Gives back to Moore. 16 on the shot clock and 49 in the first half. Badgers lead it by 6. Rich.
Great wing denial over there on Leah Hefty. Tamara Moore wanting to get it to Leah Hefty, but was denied on the wing.
Stephanie Rich moved to the ball, goes back up and scores. Stephanie Rich offensive rebounding.
Following the flight of the ball, she came over, nobody boxed her out. Got the rebound cleanly and an uncontested shot.
Chapman will take the open 15-footer, rims it out. And Rich another rebound. Stephanie Rich has 5 rebounds.
Stephanie Rich playing incredible basketball here, showing why she actually had the starting nod earlier this year.
I think she Probably plays a more comfortable role when she comes off the bench. Fakes, gets the shot up. Oh, that would have brought the crowd up to their feet, but she misses it at the buzzer. But the Badgers score the final 5 points of the half and lead it by 8 as we get to the intermission. Wisconsin 30 and Indiana 22 at the end of 20 minutes.
Thank you for watching Wisconsin Public Television. Now let us know what you think about the program you've just watched or any of our programs by calling 1-800-253-1158 or by emailing us at comments@wpt.org. Wisconsin Public Television belongs to you. Thanks for letting us know what you think.
Your Wisconsin Public Television forecast tonight, partly to mostly cloudy skies across the state with temperatures in the teens to near 20, 12 in Eau Claire overnight. Tomorrow we'll look for partly to mostly cloudy skies, a few flurries north, otherwise dry. Temperatures in the mid-teens to the mid-20s to even some low 30s as we head out to south parts of the state.
Next time on The Industry. The question is, what did we do that is so bad that someone would become this obsessed with revenge?
Well, you know, if you want to go down that road, we'll be here all week.
Are you sure you want to kill every resident of Beaver Creek?
And end on an up note. Eh? Has to be a feel-good episode, too.
Watch The Industry, Saturday night at 9 on Wisconsin Public Television.
At halftime, the Badgers leading the Hoosiers 30-22. And about what we expected, a scrappy game, a hard-fought game, couple of teams playing very good defense. Don, what were your impressions of those first 20 minutes?
As you said, incredible defense, a lot of offensive rebounding on both ends. Jill Chapman having 4 and Stephanie Rich just adding to her game.
Badgers just built to that 8-point lead actually in the final couple of minutes of the half. There were actually 5 lead changes in those first 20 minutes. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. Jill Chapman, we talked about at the very top of the broadcast, as advertised, having a good first half. Some of that keyed by offensive rebounding.
Jill Chapman having to reach out and get the ball, tries to shoot over Emily Ashball, but gets one of her rebounds there for 2 points. And then later, a long 3 by Indiana, and Jill Chapman there again to clean up the boards for that offensive rebound as well. Heather Cassidy also coming in and getting a 3. No threes before the night for Indiana, but Heather Cassidy coming in and getting her share of the 3. At the other end, Wisconsin showing their ability to hit the 3. Tamara Moore from the top of the key. And then later on, we have a cross-court pass from Jessie Stomski over to Kyle Black, who hits a long ball for the Badgers. And then I talked about offensive rebound and Stephanie Rich there following the flight of the ball and going to the basket strong.
You look at the statistics at halftime, and the difference really, the 8 points, is in the shooting percentage, the field goal percentage. Wisconsin 48 to just 30 for Indiana. Otherwise, pretty even. The Badgers a couple more points from the free throw line, and rebounding the same. And 11 turnovers is not going to make Jane Albright happy, or I'm sure has not made Jane Albright happy. Wisconsin perennial problems with turnovers. It's been better, a little bit better this year, but 11 is on pace for 22 in the game. Scoring leaders pretty even. Chapman with 6. Moore leads for Wisconsin with 7. And noticeable among the Badgers there is Jessie Stomski.
And Jessie Stomski being pulled away from the basket by the forwards for Indiana, pulling her away, causing her to actually have long jump shots. And the one shot she did make, 1 for 5 tonight so far, was about a 12-foot jump shot.
So the Badgers have it to start the second half. Leading it by 8. Go with the starters in the game. Black double team. Stomski comes out high for the ball. Gets it back from Black. Goes over. Shot is blocked by Chapman, who came over to help. And then tipped out by Ashbaugh. So the Hoosiers having nice success with the double team. Continue it in the second half here. Wisconsin has scored 5 in a row to close the first half. Been a while since the Hoosiers had a field goal there to end the first 20 minutes. The move cut off by Seeger. Entry pass for Chapman down low, and the roll does not go. Ashbaugh tracks it down, and the Badgers get it. Remains at 30-22. Moore Getting Jones turned around, decided not to take the shot. Looking for help, gets it out for Seeger. Stomski in the lane. Watch out, got to get 3 seconds. Moore spinning on Jones all the way down. Can't finish. And tapped away by Moore for Stomski, and she hits the jumper. Kept alive by Tamara Moore.
And Jessie Stomski again taking that 15-foot shot away from the basket. Just a recipient of the gift from Tamara Moore, that gift rebound.
It just shows her versatility. That's not just inside stuff. Jones forcing a shot and well short, rebounded to Moore. Badgers a 10-point lead. Now over a long period of time, they've scored 7 in a row. Moore looking for help. Ash ball for Stomski. Guarded by McGinnis. Black around a Stomski screen, and she's tripped. And she went for her move, and the foul will be on Cassidy. Well, a 10-point game, long way to go, but is it the Badger defense that's closed out Indiana here the last couple of minutes at least?
And just aggressive plays like that. Kyle Black getting tripped, but Wisconsin going hard to the basket.
Jessie Stomski, another long one, too strong. And DeMuth the rebound. Hoosiers need a hoop in the worst way here. Inside for Chapman, can't get it.
And Jill Chapman, both shots this half so far have been short, trying to shoot over Emily Ashball, who's not trying to block the shot, just standing straight up, getting the hand up.
A good entry pass for Stomski, and that's meat and potatoes for the senior.
Kathy Bennett not liking what she's seeing here early, calls a 30-second timeout as Wisconsin has gone up by 12. Jessie Stomski able to get the high-low pass from Emily Ashball and having her first bucket inside tonight for Wisconsin.
Has there been an adjustment by Wisconsin? We've seen that twice now at the halftime where they're able to get the ball to Stomski inside.
It's been on the second or third pass. Early on, Jessie Stomski was getting the pass away from the basket and trying to score immediately. This time we're seeing 2 and 3 passes, allowing Jessie Stomski actually to make that cut to the low post area.
So Wisconsin opens up to a 12-point lead, and it's been a long time, but it's been a 9-0 run. It was 25-22. As you see, Wisconsin's defense has held the last 6 opponents to under 40% from the floor. Gene Albright talked about stressing defense with this team. This is a team that listens. They've got great chemistry. They listen to the coaches. They listen to their seniors. And with a 20-point edge and field goal shooting percentage, that's a certain formula for victory.
Listening to their coach, listening to the teammates, and plays like this. Tamara Moore staying with it, out hustling Jill Chapman for Jessie Stomski's first point of the second half. And then she gets her first point down low for the second half. Jessie Stomski coming in not liking just having those 2 points in the first half, has already pushed up to 6 points.
Looks like our current stats are down for the moment. So Hoosiers needing something, and Tamara Moore a steal, trying to outrace Jones, does, and finishes. Wow. 6 in a row in this half, and it's 36-22. Let's see if the Hoosiers keep their patience. That's not there. The rebound fought for by Chapman. Stomski ties her up, and the arrow points Indiana's way.
And Wisconsin came out much more aggressive this half. Not liking the way the half was going with that defense kind of holding them down. They like those breakaway baskets, and that's what they're getting.
DeMuth looking inside. Comes out for Cassidy. Doubled. Now they both fall off, leaving Cassidy wide open, but the shot again not there. And 2 Badgers there to rebound. Seeger pulls it down. Inside for Stomski. Goes around to the other side and finishes. 38-22.
And Jessie Stomski this half looking like the Big Ten Co-Player of the Year preseason.
That's what the coaches voted her. So she was a First team all Big Ten last year. And finally, the drought ends for Indiana as they got it to Chapman very low. And she now has 8 points. 38-24. Cross court for Stomski, has the angle on McGinnis, and she'll go to the foul line.
And not many free throws taken so far for this game. Jessie Stomski going in strong. Tamara Moore, nice job of finding her, and Jessie going strong with the one dribble pull up on McGinnis and gets the foul.
See a couple of reserves coming in for Indiana. 24 is Jill Hartman. Also in 54 is Jamie Gathing.
And McGinnis, not having any fouls in the first half, has 3 fouls here already and had to go to the bench.
Ashbaugh keeps it alive for Stomski. Kyle Black in and out. Seeger the rebound. Yes! Badgers get a field goal off a missed free throw, and it's a 3-point play, kind of an unusual way. 41-24. 17 is the biggest lead by far of the game. So now it comes down to Indiana maintaining their patience. That pass is deflected. Jones flips it off Ashbaugh's leg, and so they'll maintain possession. And we have a timeout, but the Badgers have outscored the Hoosiers 11-2 here to start the second half and lead it by 17. You're watching Badger Ball. Well, we're glad to be bringing you this game tonight on Wisconsin Public Television, and we'll have another one for you on Sunday night. It's the Wolverines and the Badgers. That sounds like an episode for Animal Planet, but no, it's a basketball game. Wisconsin takes on Michigan Sunday, January 6th, right here at 11. Don't miss this basketball game, or if you want, you can consider it a wildlife outing right here on Wisconsin Public Television. Michigan picking up a much-needed victory last night as they were 0-2 in the conference. Michigan had been in the top 20 and still is in the top 20. Started out something like 11-1 and then had lost their first 2 in the conference. Indiana, Chapman, Cassidy, McGinnis, and Jones account for 2/3 of Indiana's scoring. And a big part of their scoring, but right now the scoring has gone dry for the Hoosiers. Wisconsin's 3 seniors, 3 of the 4 seniors, account for 65% of the team's offense, comparing with 4 seniors for Indiana accounting for 2/3 of their offense. So both teams benefiting from strong senior leadership. And that's what it'll take for Indiana to come back from this 17-point deficit with 15 minutes to go. But you know that Indiana, with Kathy Bennett as the coach, is not going to back off one bit. Hard-nosed team having their problems offensively here tonight, and they'll scrap and fight defensively as Jones is doing right there on Moore. Ashbaugh for Stomski. Looking for help. Seeger's trying to post up. Feed far side for Black. Steps back and takes the jumper and hits it. Kyle Black showing her versatility. It's a 19-point lead.
And that's a great heads-up play by Seeger, able to see Kyle Black on the opposite side. And Kyle just has that little step-back dribble there and just kind of hurls it in.
Badgers on a 13-2 run. 13-2 run going back to the first half. Actually, that's this half. Well, 13-4 as the Hoosiers come back. Chapman having all 4 points here in the second half for Indiana. Now Moore into the lane, takes the short jumper and hits it.
And Tamara Moore just staying poised as her defender, Tara Jones, falls down. She gathers herself and gets the shot up.
So you're up by 19 in a game that had been close until late in the first half. What's the strategy from Wisconsin's point of view? Just keep on playing the same way?
Keep playing the same way, and Indiana now is going to have to use a lot of energy to play catch-up. But as you said, they don't give up, so we're going to see a great game going down the stretch.
Gathering the offensive rebound, couldn't get it, and Ashbaugh another rebound.
When you're playing a team like Indiana who has the defensive prowess, sometimes they can go dry offensively, but the defense does not let up. And so if you're Wisconsin, you have to continue to attack the bucket like we saw Tamara Moore do there.
I'm just laughing at Tamara. She looks up at the official, shaking her head, said, come on, there's got to be a foul on that. Sarah Jarovic in for Emily Ashbaugh. No foul. That's continued kind of the way the officials have been all night. Got to get it in. They do to Black. 13:33. Jarovic just into the game, the senior from Stevens Point. Moore will try the three and hit it. Tamara Moore opens up for Wisconsin to a 22-point lead, and Indiana calling a timeout as the Badgers, big from the outside, 4 for 8 from long range, and Moore has 2 and Black has 2. Wow.
And I tell you, Sarah Jarovic comes in, gets an assist early because Tamara Moore is spotted up at the top of the key. Tamara Moore has been extremely aggressive and is really doing a nice job of finding the open spots on the floor to receive the ball and get the shot in and drain the shot.
Tamara Moore quietly 14 points to lead the way. I just saw Kyle Black taking that nice pull-up jumper, showing again the development of her game. A couple 3 seasons ago, you wouldn't have seen that shot because it wasn't in her repertoire. I have to admit, Dawn, I'm really surprised. And again, there's 13 minutes to go, but this has opened up to a 22-point game. As the Hoosiers have gone cold, they are shooting just 27%. Chapman looking for the ball down low as the Badgers go zone here. Jones not there. Chapman keeps it alive in traffic. Got the basket and the foul from behind by Seeger.
Although they've gotten the basket, the shooting percentage has just been dismal for Indiana. For this half so far, they're shooting just 20%.
Seeger committed the foul coming out, and Stephanie Rich in. Rich, a nice lift in limited minutes in the first half. Chapman has 7 double-doubles this year. She and Jessie Stomski kind of get double-doubles like no one else in the conference. Stomski's got a bunch of them this year, too. 48-29, 12:50 to go. Rich for Jarovic. And a foul away from the ball. That's going to be on Indiana. Jamie Gavin guarding Jessie Stomski.
It's interesting that they called that foul this half. They were just jockeying for position in the post, as you see them jockeying there.
Stomski, a spin move, yes, and a foul. And it'll be on Chapman. Stomski with a good spin move. I saw a hold there as she made the spin. You saw her jersey tighten right here. But the foul came later. And Jessie, the 3-point play, gets it back to a 22-point lead. So far for Indiana, it's been just Chapman and not much more. Jarovic guarding Chapman. That one rims out. And the shot's just not falling. Ahead for Stomski, beats the defense down and completes it.
And this is the pace, and this is the type of game that Wisconsin wants to play. Get up and get out and get running. That time, Tamara Moore receives Jessie Stomski break free.
Black on Cassidy. Cassidy been relatively quiet tonight, averages 13 points. Couldn't get it there. And she just has 5 so far tonight. Badgers really impressive here this evening. Rich looking for Jarovic. Not there. They can take their time on the shot clock. Still a long way to go. But Wisconsin very impressive, leading by 24. Nice pass underneath for Moore. Oh.
And Wisconsin just having their way inside with Indiana, whether it's Jessie Stomski or Tamara Moore, they're able to slip in behind the defense and get layups.
Jones cut off by Jarovic. Again, the shots don't fall. Chapman, nope, not there, and that was the Badgers' height. Jarovic and Stomski doing a good move, not reaching in, no foul, and Chapman couldn't get it to go. Wisconsin calling a 30-second timeout here at 11:15 as both Stomski and Jarovic were a little tired coming back up. They're playing hard defense. And Dawn, I'll say it again, very impressive Badger performance here. It was 25 to 22 late in the first half. And since then, 30 points for Wisconsin and only 7 for Indiana. Wow.
And the only 7 that Indiana has have come from Jill Chapman.
Yeah.
Tamara Moore just having an incredible second half, forcing the action, gets the pass from Kyle Black there for the easy 2 points.
Kyle Black getting the assist. Moore has 16, Stomski has 14, and Wisconsin 56% to just 26 for Indiana. Low screen for Stomski, and she hits it. Just like you draw it up, Jane Albright probably just did. Well, you got to remember right now, Wisconsin's got to be careful here because in 3 short weeks, they'll be going down to Bloomington, and I'm sure the Hoosiers will remember this. Rich pokes it away from McGinnis.
Tamara Moore seeing Emily Ashball down low and just kind of winked at her like she wanted to get it to her, but she still does. But Emily Ashball can't finish. Jessie Stomski right there to clean it up.
And finish. Jones into the lane, feeds back for McGinnis. That's there.
Number 30, Erin McGinnis.
59-32. McGinnis as a forward is really a 3-point threat. 41% from downtown. Indiana's going to need a bunch of those. They trail by 27. Ashbaugh. Stomski posting up was Moore. But a foul committed by Indiana as Cassidy on the post-up as the pass came in.
Tamara Moore realizing Tara Jones not defending her, post up the shorter Heather Cassidy on the box there.
9:52 to go. Badgers by 27. You're watching Badger ball. Now the Badgers tonight 4 for 8 from 3-point land. 2 of those to Kyle Black, 2 of those to Tamara Moore. UW is second in the Big Ten with 5.9 made per game, and they're under that average. And which shows you how well they're playing. They're shooting 56% on the game. I'm not sure they've had a game this year where they've shot over 50% for the contest. Indiana on the other side has been holding the opponents to 28% three-point shooting, something they prided themselves on. But tonight, Wisconsin is 4 for 8 from long range, as is Indiana. So both teams shooting pretty well, but it's been Wisconsin's inside points that has really put them to this lead.
And again, the difference this half has been the aggressive play by Tamara Moore and Jessie Stomski. She's able to get the pass inside or clean it up on the rebound. But it's really been the 2 of them, Tamara Moore and Jessie Stomski. At the other end, though, you got forward McGinnis hitting a 3. Plays inside, but actually is very versatile.
Now back to action, Candace Smith and Leah Hefty in the game for the Badgers. Smith at point guard. Has it stolen away by Jones. Candace coming back, and a shot rolls in for Tara Jones.
Number 40, Tara Jones.
Tamara Moore getting a breather, and Jane Albright would probably like to see Candace Smith have a real good few minutes in here at point and have the Badgers keep that lead at least in the 20-point range.
So far tonight, Jane Albright giving both point guards, both reserve point guards, opportunities at the point. Candace Smith and Shauna Nichols.
Keisha Asabui in the game again for Indiana. 25-point lead. Badgers still have 2 of their starters, Ashbaugh and Stomski, in the game. Chapman falling away, shot is well short, rebounded by Hefty. And another turnover by Candace Smith.
And Jane Albright just really looking disappointed about that. Shaking her head there. Candace Smith saying, I'm okay, leave me in. But Jane Albright letting her know she needs to take care of the basketball better.
It kind of becomes a confidence thing when you turn it over like that twice in a row. You want to have a player keep their confidence. Asabui back for Jones. Pulls up and shot not there. Ashbaugh another rebound. Emily Ashbaugh now with 8 boards on the night. Good entry pass to Stomski, no foul. Jones leading a 2-on-3 break. Cassidy not there. And Rich the weak side rebound. Well, some of Indiana and many of Indiana's shots have been good shots. They're just not going. It's been a concern. Kathy Bennett has expressed it. Shooting has been a problem. It's been there some games, other games it's not. And certainly since late in the first half, the shooting has not been there for the Hoosiers.
The one thing is you live and die by your defense. So if your defense is present, your offense can come if you can continue to stop other teams. But right now, Wisconsin's finding all kinds of ways to score.
Tara Jones coming back with another hoop. 59-36 as Indiana has scored 7 in a row. Down to 23. Inside for Ashbaugh. Nope. And a quick shot feeds right into what Indiana wants. They got a long way to go, but they're coming. They're not going to quit. You know that. Baseline is open. Cut off by Rich. Cassidy. Jones is open on the weak side. Cassidy couldn't get it to her. Ashbaugh there defensively, and a foul behind by Stephanie Rich. Nope, it's going to be on Ashbaugh. That's just her first personal. 7:10 to go.
Asabui just able to get the step around Stephanie Rich, causing Ashbaugh to have to come up and help them.
Keisha Asabui, a junior out of Columbus, Ohio. Actually, her first year in the Indiana program. She played in the junior college ranks in the Cincinnati area last year. So Chapman getting a breather. And into the game for the first time, number 11, Jelena Lazic. Escaping the rebound and got the 3-point play on the offensive rebound. 59-39, and Jane Albright has to put Tamara Moore back in at point as the Badgers have seen Indiana score 10 in a row. Leah Hefty from long range, not there. And the rebound, and here come the Hoosiers. A little more confidence. And now the Badgers need some stops. Actually, they need to get some scoring back going here. Cassidy left open, long 2 is there. 59-41, not over yet.
Heather Cassidy had been quiet for some time. With Jill Chapman, their primary scorer on the bench, she's had to step up her game here.
Jane Albright going to bring Kyle Black back in, Christy Seeger back in. The next opportunity, Eva Gabisa's in the game at the last whistle. Hefty for Rich, big shot from long range, nope. Gabisa couldn't get the rebound, and a timeout by Cassidy, and she gets it as she grabbed the ball and got a timeout.
As it turns out, it's actually a media timeout. She didn't actually get the timeout in the air, but because the ball was out of bounds, we have that under 8-minute media.
Okay, so we've got a break. Badgers lead it by 18. You're watching Badger Ball.
Well, Wisconsin playing some good basketball here today. It's going to be able to have some good basketball in the future. Jane Albright signed 3 players in the upcoming class, Ashley Josephson, a fantastic guard out of West Salem, Wisconsin. Jordan Wilson, an AAU All-American out of Naperville, Indiana. And Annie Nelson, a versatile 3/4 player out of Hudson, Wisconsin. So a very nice, solid class coming in. But also to that class, she's going to be able to add Lelo Gabisa, Eva Gabisa's 6'7" sister who transferred from Duke, having played in 33 games in the 2 years at Duke. So she'll be a fine addition next year.
She'll be the tallest player ever to play for Wisconsin. And obviously has to sit out as her transfer year is taking place right now, and she'll be a junior next year. Well, Indiana on a 12-0 run, and it's been keyed by Tara Jones, a senior out of Memphis, Tennessee. A steal there. And Jones again back here on a short jumper in the lane. As it was a 30-point deficit, back to action here, and it's now an 18-point game with under 6 to go. And so the Badgers are back in with 4 of their 5 starters, with only Eva Gabisa giving a chance for Jessie Stomski to have a break. Christy Seeger along too. Oh yes, big basket for Wisconsin. And Seeger, I think that might be her first points of the game. They are. Comes up with a key hoop.
Although her first points here, she's always around the ball with rebounds and just getting her hand on loose balls.
And a foul on Wisconsin as Asabui drew it. Ashbaugh now picked up her second personal. And Stomski will come in for Ashbaugh. He's had a fine game, just 6 points, but 8 rebounds, a couple of assists. It seems like a lot of key plays against Chapman. Well, Tara Jones is heating it up here, 61-43.
Again, we talked about Indiana not going away, playing good defense, and the offense will come, and the offense is now starting to come.
Tamara Moore posting up on Cassidy, couldn't get it, but Gabisa, the weak side rebound, and she's fouled.
Talked about the newcomers next year. Gabisa on one side and Lelo Gabisa on the other side is really going to be a nice twin tower down low. Gabisa making her way in there. Tamara Moore posting up Heather Cassidy, but to meet Gabisa clearing out there and getting the offensive rebound and fouled on the putback.
Gabisa right at her average of 5.5 points. 3.7 rebounds, is a good free throw shooter at 78%. One of the players, and they don't come along real often, who really wants to work on her weaknesses, says Jane Albright. Disappointing game so far for Kathy Bennett, who you just saw a moment ago. Jones coming down, just putting up the jumper.
And Jones, having no points the first half, has 8 points here in the second half. Mostly due to having to sit out with those 2 fouls early on in the first half.
63-45, now down to 4:40. And Stomski was blocked before the shot. That's the 7th team foul on the Hoosiers, so Stomski will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Jessie's been doing a captain's log in the game programs that are being sold this year, and she had a most recent one. She talked about community service and how it's such an important thing for the Badger players of Jane Albright, and she had some really nice things to say about the community service, how it's become for her, and in her 4th year doing this now, a way to fill me with joy of trying to help the community. It used to be when she started, I thought I was helping other people. Really, it helps me, and that's what volunteers constantly say, is that it's when you get into it, it's more for you than it is for the people you're trying to help. Cassidy got a steal and got a timeout before she went out of bounds. But the Badgers, another turnover.
It actually takes the Hoosiers down to their last timeout. Although with a 18-point lead for the Badgers, I'm not sure if that final timeout's going to be needed at a pivotal time or not. So it's okay in that situation to go ahead and save the possession and call the timeout.
Yeah, you need possessions, you need points. Kathy Bennett in her second year at Indiana guided the Hoosiers to a 6th place finish. That's pretty good, but a lot better than what they've done the previous 2 years. And at 20-11 last year, they had their winningest first year. She was the winningest first-year coach in school history. Wisconsin with 14 turnovers. It's a little better. They've only had 3 here in the second half. That's part of their success in the early moments of the second half. Was that Skapin converting underneath? It's interesting that Kathy Bennett is keeping Joe Chapman over there, as it's a 16-point game with under 4 minutes to go. I think if she really thought they could make the comeback here, she'd have the senior center in there.
Well, looking at their upcoming schedule, they have quite a road schedule coming up, and Joe Chapman has been averaging just under 35 minutes per game, and with 16 points here tonight, under 4 minutes, you know, it might not be a bad idea to just let her rest.
Yep. They go to Penn State. Does Indiana coming up? I believe that's on Sunday. Stomski at the line. Jessie, if you get a chance, if you come to the Badger games, take a look at that captain's log. They're really interesting in the program. Some of them are on the websites, too. As we take a break here, the Badgers have the lead back up to 18 with 3:42 to go. You're watching Badger Ball. Now, we were just talking a moment ago about the schedule. Again, early on in the Big Ten Conference season. And Indiana has an extended 3-game road trip here. 3 straight away games, not all consecutive, obviously. But they're at Penn State. Actually, that's next Wednesday. It's not this weekend. They have a bye this weekend. Then they go to Penn State a week from tonight. And they're home to Iowa, home to Purdue. Again, tough games, and at Michigan. So I think you're right about what Kathy Bennett's thinking, looking at the schedule coming up. For Wisconsin, as we told you earlier, they have the home game coming up on Sunday against Michigan, and they have 2 road games. They go at Michigan State and at Northwestern before they come back for a very important home game against Illinois. And again, it's very early. This is just the 3rd conference game out of the 16, but Wisconsin looking to be 3-0. So the Badgers have stopped the dwindling of the lead, if you could say that, as it had gotten down to 18. That was the lowest it's ever been, perhaps 16 for a moment in there. But they have it back up to 18, and time definitely on their side. Jean Albright will see her team go to 12-1. 11 in a row is going to be a new school record, if I have it right. 10 in a row had been the record, and they had tied it. And now this one will be 11 in a row, setting a new school record. Cassidy missing it from outside. Seeger can't corral it. So it'll be a school record 11th victory in a row. The Badgers won their first game, lost their only game. That was to Texas, a 5-point loss at a tournament in the Virgin Islands back in late November. And since then, it's been all victories, and then been some tough ones in there, notably in the conference, and then a big comeback against Marquette in the non-conference schedule.
And you mentioned that non-conference schedule. Jane Albright playing one of the toughest non-conference schedules she's ever scheduled. The toughest in the Big Ten, and in the top 10 in the country in toughest schedules as far as teams go. And she said she wanted to use that schedule to prepare her for the Big Ten, and it certainly has.
Well, that's what she said. Talked about the 9-1 non-conference record, especially, she said, as tough as a non-conference schedule as we've had. Christy Seeger again getting the lead back to 20, 67-47. Cassidy hounded by Black and knocks it away from Cassidy. And who's the foul going to be on? Oh, on Black. She thought it was going to be on Cassidy.
And actually, Kyle Black cleanly able to get the ball out of Heather Cassidy's hands purely due to height. Here we see Kyle Black right there, toe-to-toe. Cassidy brings it up. Kyle, almost like a volleyball block, there gets her finger on it and tries to go the other way.
Might have been a case where Cassidy's back was to the official. Official didn't see what she was doing. Asabui can't get the shot off, or if she did, it was stopped by the backboard. Now down to 2:20. Now, Jane Albright has said this has the potential to be a special year. We've got talent, we've got chemistry, and it's a team that's coachable. Tamara Moore, yes!
Not only a team that's coachable, a team that's talented. Tamara Moore showing her long-range jump shots tonight.
Yelena Lazic.
Number 11, Yelena Lazic.
70-49, under 2 minutes. Badgers having to go with at least 3 of their starters, their seniors, in the game here down the stretch. And Jane Albright tried to get some of her reserves and did get some of them in, but saw that lead dwindle. Now I think she can get some more in as Sarah Jarovic and Leah Hefty will be coming in a moment. And again, we didn't go far enough on the schedule, but it'll be 3 weeks from tonight that the Badgers play at Indiana, where they've had real problems trying to win. Kyle Black comes out of the game, and Black finishes with 8 points, and Stomski out with 21 rather, and misses the second free throw. So Stomski has come on big time here in the second half after having, what was it, 5 at halftime? Wow, Jones, a long 3. Gabisa, the offensive rebound. Down to 1:15. Hefty fouled by Chapman. 71-52. Now, what do we say? We're looking at Jessie Stomski. She had
2 points.
2 points.
Yeah, she was 1 for 5. That's why that 5 was stuck in your mind. 1 for 5.
So 19 points here in the second half. And Jessie will come out of the game as Sarah Jarovic is in, and Stomski, a great second half that keys the Badgers breaking it open early in the second 20 minutes. And the Badgers going to get their 11th consecutive win. Hefty makes the second, 72-52.
Tara Jones has been what's been keeping Indiana in the game, if you can say in the game, but keeping them alive offensively this half.
72-54, down to the final minute, as you see. Hefty inside for Jarovic. Lost it as she went up, but the Badgers will keep it.
Sarah Jarovic this year getting more playing time than she's gotten in her 3 seasons prior to this year. Jane Albright sending her down to Pete Newell's post camp this year to add some versatility to her post moves.
A blocking foul on one of the Hoosiers. Badgers have 2 in double figures, and so does Indiana. Jones and Chapman both with 13. But Chapman, I guess, is being held for resting purposes. Not going to have a whole lot of minutes. Played a lot in the first half and first part of the second half, but not much after that. And as you see, 2 of the seniors, Stomski and Black, taking a rest. Kyle Black ended up with 8 points, but 3 for 7 from the field, and played a good game on holding down Heather Cassidy. Cassidy is well below her average, 7 points, and she averages 13, second leading scorer. And a lot of that has been because of Kyle Black. Chapman keeps it alive for the Hoosiers. Final seconds now. Cut off. Shauna Nichols working at it in the corner.
Officials trying to decide who the ball went off. The 2 closest officials weren't sure, so they had to defer to the gentleman across the court who gives the ball to Indiana.
And the news out of this one, the Badgers going to 3-0, will remain in first place and winning their school record 11th consecutive game. The fans getting on the officials for getting that call right.
And the only other undefeated team here in the Big Ten is Illinois, who's also 2-0, playing Minnesota tonight. We don't know that outcome, but right now we do know in 3 seconds, Wisconsin will be the team that's 3-0 and staying on top of the Big Ten.
And if you're just joining us now, the Badgers really took control of this game late in the first half and especially early in the second when they went on a 13-4 run and eventually opened up to, I think it was a 30-point lead at one time. And they get a couple of free throws there from Sarah Jerovic. And it's 74-54 is your final score as the Badgers improve to 12-1. 12-1 on the season. They win their school record 11th consecutive game. Indiana disappointed with a loss. They go to 8-6 and 2-1 in the conference. Jessie Stomski leads the way with 21 points. Tamara Moore with 19. Indiana, Jill Chapman with 13. And Tara Jones with 13. Jane Albright got to be very happy with her team's play. And as you step back and take a look, Dawn, at this game, as Bucky Badger and the fans here at the Kohl Center celebrating with it, you have to be impressed. I mean, they look like the 12th ranked team in the country against a very good Indiana team, and they took them apart in about the first 30 minutes of the game.
Well, the difference has been poised. They're playing incredible defense. Their offense, when it's not there, they still rely and go back to the defense. And when people aren't scoring, like Jessie Stomski, 2 points at halftime, other players step in. Stephanie Rich came in, did a fantastic job. Tamara Moore, 3 for 4 from the three-point line. Players are stepping up, and that's what you need.
And Emily Ashbaugh having a good game as well. So the Badgers improve, and they'll have their next home game coming up against Michigan on Saturday. For our Wisconsin Public Television viewers, we'll have it for you on Sunday night. For those of you watching on WB14, thanks for being with us. You've seen why the Badgers are the number 12 team in the country. They win it by 20, 74-54. Thanks for being with us. So long, everybody.